So today we're going to talk about anxiety. And one of the first things I want to tell you about anxiety is that most people at some point in their life have felt anxiety. Even the people that you don't think, everybody, okay? So whether it's your mother, your father, your grandparents, your brother, your sister, your friend, your teacher, me, everybody at some point has felt anxiety, okay? And there are times when feeling anxious about something is really quite normal. If you are walking into a test, you can feel anxiety, okay? You can feel anxious about sitting the test. If you're going for your driver's license, you can feel anxious about sitting your driver's license. If you've sat a driver's license before and failed and you're going back again, you'll probably feel even more anxious about sitting for your driver's license. If you have to go and discuss something with a teacher that you're nervous about, you might feel anxious. So you can see there are times when feeling anxiety is actually quite a normal thing to do. Anxiety is another emotion, and when it's kept in balance, it's absolutely no problem. It's only when it gets out of control then it becomes a problem, okay? So where do we actually feel anxiety? What does it feel like? Well, for everyone it's different, so there is no right or wrong answer about what's meant to happen when you're feeling anxiety. You can feel it in your throat, as in you're trying to breathe and you feel like almost like your throat is blocked and you can't breathe properly. You can feel it in your chest, as if your heart's beating so fast that your heart's going to pop out of your chest and you can't catch your breath. You can feel it under your ribs in here, okay, around your solar plexus. It can feel really tense and tight in there. You can also feel it a little bit lower in your stomach and it feels like a knot, okay? You can even feel nauseous. You can feel like you're going to be sick. Okay, so there is no right or wrong for where you feel anxiety. For me personally, when I feel anxiety, it feels like a wave, like a blood rush, as if the blood has rushed all the way to my head, and then like that, it drains really quickly and I feel a bit lightheaded. And for me, because I'm trained in it, some breath work and some deep breathing helps me get it back under control quite quickly. You would have already seen the different breath and meditation videos, the 3 different videos. So do make sure if you suffer from anxiety that you do check those videos properly and actually go home and try and do them for yourself, because they do help with anxiety, okay? So you can feel it in all sorts of different places. There's no right or wrong, and sometimes it might be in one place and sometimes it might be in another place, and that's okay. So what is anxiety? Now, it can relate in times to negative thoughts, and we discuss negative thoughts. There's another video on negative thoughts in a couple topics, so you will get to negative thoughts quite soon also. So the two of these topics are related in some parts. But let's look at what anxiety is. You can look at different definitions and you can find different ways to look at what anxiety is. The way I explain it is I try and keep it really, I suppose, simple and logical so that we understand what's going on, because when we understand, then it feels a lot less scary. So the way I explain anxiety is that it is simply your thoughts running ahead, okay? So your thoughts, when you feel really busy in your mind, you're like, oh, I feel stressed. When your mind gets busy, your thoughts run, and they run ahead too quickly for you to catch up. It's like I can't catch you, I can't keep you back in control. So when your thoughts run ahead of you too quickly and go into a negative space, that's what anxiety is. It's a negative thought that's running away, and it's pretty much going into the worst case scenario and then going, oh my God, that's what's going to happen. This is terrible. When actually you are still back here, your mind has just gone there. Okay, so does that make sense? That's what anxiety is. Your thoughts running ahead in a negative way and going to the worst case scenario. So for example, maybe you sit a test and you are feeling a bit anxious about it. So feeling anxious, like I said, about a test is completely fine. It's completely normal. Most of your class is probably feeling some level of anxiety about the tests. Not everybody. Some people who study hard and feel confident, that's great. But most of the class will be feeling anxious about the test. It's only really a problem if your anxiety takes over. So rather than just having normal anxiety or normal nerves about the test, not normal like that, but normal in the way that you are not feeling out of control. You feel nervous, but you're okay and you can still do the test. What can happen when we feel too anxious about the test is our mind runs away, it gets ahead of us, and we go into disaster land of the worst case scenario of, oh my God, I'm going to fail. And we can take it 10 steps further. I'm going to fail. This is terrible. I'm going to fail the year. What's going to happen? What are my parents going to say? What's everyone going to think? I'm going to fail school, I'm going to be kicked out. You can get all carried away into a number of different places depending on how fast your mind goes ahead. Then when the paper is put in front of you, you look at it and you can't think. Your mind has gone so far over there that you're not here with the piece of paper or the computer that's the test. And you look at it and you think, oh my God, I don't know anything. Okay? That's when the breath work and the different techniques come into play to calm you down because your mind has run away. Okay? So that's just a simple example of what can happen, but we can get anxiety about all sorts of things. So that's what anxiety is. Your mind is running away too quickly into a negative place and going into worst case scenario. Okay, so what can we do? And there are things we can do. There's a bunch of things that we can do to keep ourselves back in the moment and back in a calm place. The main thing is what we're trying to do is bring our mind back. If our mind has gone there, we need to bring it back here. Okay, that's really the point. That's what we're trying to get our mind from there to come back. Okay, so step one, there are 3 steps. Step 1 is grounding. Okay, grounding means bringing yourself back into here because your mind has gone there. You need to bring yourself back. Grounding is being back in the moment. Okay, similar to mindfulness practice. If you've heard of mindfulness, mindfulness is about coming back into the moment, being aware in the moment what's going on. Okay, so grounding. You need some quick, very actionable things you can do in that moment, don't you? We don't need some kind of theory about anxiety, but what can I do right now? I'm feeling anxious. Grounding is a great one. Grounding is touching your skin, okay? Or your clothes, whatever you've got. Arms, legs, quite strong. Okay, so touch your arms, touch your legs. Sounds crazy? This is why we do it. So one of the theories is, particularly in Ayurvedic medicine, if you're into that kind of thing, but one of the theories is that skin and body is considered grounding. Same like the actual ground, okay? So you could tap the actual ground, tap your body. It will do the same thing. So if you're sitting down, touch the ground. If you're not somewhere where you can do that, you've got your skin or your body, which will have the same effect, okay? So grounding is coming back into this. Part of grounding is also bringing your mind, so now you brought your body back, bringing your mind back into the here and now, back into this moment. So how do we do that? How we do that is we name the things that we see in front of us, okay? So you probably can't see what I can see, but I would, if I was doing grounding right now, I would say, here is my body, I'm sitting on a red cushion, I'm sitting on the floor, there is my water bottle and I'm touching it, there's my water bottle, there's my suitcase, there's my journal, there's my paper, okay? So I am naming the things that I can see. So why do we do that? Because my mind is over there. When I name things that are in the here and now, my mind comes back into here and now, okay? So step 1, grounding, touch the ground, grab your body, brings your body back. Now we want to bring the mind back, and I say, here's my body, I'm sitting on a red cushion, I'm sitting on the floor, here's my water bottle, here's my suitcase, here's my journal, here's my paper. Okay, my mind is immediately back in the here and now because it can't be in both places at once. Okay, so now my body is back, my mind is back. That is step 1, to bring yourself back. Okay, does that make sense? Step 2. Breathe, okay? When you're in that heightened state of anxiety or even in a panic attack, when someone says breathe, it's the right thing, but it's very, very difficult because you're still in this state and you feel like you can't breathe. So step 1 is bring yourself back. The minute you are back, you will find that as if someone just let you take a breath. So the minute you've brought yourself back and completed step 1, step 2 is much easier, which is breathe. Try and take 3 minimum deep breaths, okay? So you breathe all the way in. Okay, you can chuck on one of the breathing videos, the YouTube videos that I made, if you're in this space at the time, and go back into your breathing. Remembering from the first video where we're doing a belly breath, breathe in for the count of 6 and breathe out for the count of 8, because you want to slow your breath all the way down. So go back to that video, breathe in for the count of 6 through your nose and out through the count of 8 through your mouth. That will bring your breath back under control. Okay, so step 3 is, so there's only 3 steps, so we're already up to step 3. Step 3 is asking yourself this question. what do I know to be true? What are the facts? Okay, remembering before that I said thoughts are not facts. Okay, so you really want to differentiate between thoughts and facts because they are very different things. Remembering anxiety is when your thoughts run away from you. Okay, so you've brought yourself back through grounding. You've got your breath back under control, but now you want to get back into your logical state of mind. Okay, and logic says, what do I know to be true? What are the facts? Okay, if you're feeling anxious about sitting a test, what do you know to be true? What are the facts? I want you to think about it for a second. You have a test today or an exam today. What are the facts about that? Okay, the facts are there's an exam today or a test. The facts are it's at 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever time it is. Could you think of any more facts? The facts are you're going to school today. The facts are you might think, but I'm feeling nervous. That's not a fact, okay? That's more a thought, a feeling, a fear. It's not a fact, okay? You want to differentiate between thoughts and facts because it helps calm down the situation, because what's happening is your thoughts have gotten out of control. I'm going to fail. This is going to be a disaster. Everyone's going to laugh at me. I'm going to feel stupid. I'm going to get in trouble. None of those things are facts. They're all thoughts or fears. So when you ask yourself the question, what do I know to be true? What are the facts in this situation? Just the facts. It will calm you down because you will realize that there is nothing else actually going on. There is no disaster going on right now, and there's no disaster coming. There's just your thoughts and fears about what disaster might happen. Okay, so does that all make sense? Okay, so for a quick recap, we can feel anxiety in all sorts of different places. Doesn't matter where in your body you feel it. Everyone is entitled to feel it wherever they feel it, however they feel it, and that is perfectly okay. Okay, anxiety is when your mind runs away too fast into a negative space and you think of the worst case scenario and then go into kind of fear and anxiety about that. What do we need to do for anxiety is we need to bring ourselves back into the moment. How do we bring ourselves back into the moment? Well, there are 3 things we can do, hopefully in this order, because this order works really well. Bring yourself back through grounding, okay? So step 1 is grounding. Body, floor, bring your body back into the here and now. Now we need to bring our mind back into the here and now. Name all the things that you see. I can see my body is on this red cushion on the floor. Here is my water bottle, here is my suitcase, here is my journal, here is my paper. Okay? Now I've brought my mind back to here. Take 3 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose for 6 and out through the mouth for 8. Okay? Work up to those breaths. At the beginning you'll feel short of breath, but you'll work your way up to it and you'll get there in the end. Okay? And then the 3rd step is, what are the facts? What do I know to be true? Okay, so these are the 3 steps of things that you can do for yourself at any time of the day. In fact, you can even practice them at home when you're not feeling anxious so that you get really good at it, so that if you are someone that feels anxious a lot, you're good at the 3 steps, and that way you can go into them quite quickly and calm yourself down quite quickly. If you do feel that you are anxious more often than not, if you feel that you're constantly in this kind of state of anxiety and short of breath generally on a day-to-day basis, then that is the stage where you do go and talk to your parents, your carer, your teacher, your school counsellor, or you ask to seek counselling. If you want to get in touch with me, you're more than welcome to jump on my website and shoot me an email. But do get in touch with someone if you feel that you are feeling anxiety more often than not. But if you're feeling anxiety around normal everyday things, that's okay, because everyone around you is also. So I really hope that helped explain anxiety. I know that was a bit of a long video, but it's really important that you understand what anxiety is and what you can do for yourself.